Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is February 16th, 2026, President's Day Monday. Today we will talk college basketball, soccer, NBA All-Star Weekend, golf. On this day, news and notes, and best bet. But today we're actually going to start with NASCAR because we usually don't do this, but the Great American Race took place yesterday. We will go over the results of it. Your winner, Tyler Reddick. Second, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Third, Joey Logano. Fourth, Chase Elliott. Fifth, Brad Keselowski. Sixth, Zane Smith. Seventh, Chris Buescher. Eighth, Riley Herbst. Ninth, Josh Berry. 10th, Bubba Wallace. The rest, Noah Gragson, William Byron, Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Cody Ware, Carson Hocevar, AJ Allmendinger, Ross Chastain, Eric Jones, Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, Cole Custer, Ryan Preece, John Hunter Nemechek, Ryan Blaney, Corey Kime, Jimmy Johnson, Shane Van Gisbergen, Denny Hamlin, Casey Mears, Connor Zolch, Austin Cindric, Chris Belk, Chase Briscoe, Austin Dillon, Justin Allgaier, Todd Gilliland, Alex Bowman, and BJ McLeod. So, it was a great race. Fantastic ending. And, it's going to be a great season. Cup Series returns next week. The Auto Trader 400 from Eco Park Speedway. All right, no. Yeah, Eco Park Speedway's in Atlanta. I thought I had the Truck Series pulled up for a second. But yeah, next week from Atlanta, 3 o'clock Eastern. Should be a really good race. And the now O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, which replaced the Xfinity. Your winner, Austin Hill. Second, Justin Allgaier. Third, Brian Sieg. Fourth, Jordan Anderson. Fifth, Sammy Smith. Sixth, Ryan Ellis. Seventh, Carson Cavapel. Eighth, Blaine Perkins. Ninth, Jesse Love. 10th, Raja Caruth. The rest, Anthony Alfredo, Brendan Poole, Patrick Emmerling, Parker Retzlaff, Kyle Sieg, LeVar Scott, Josh Belicki, Patrick Staropoli, Carson Ware, Carson Hocevar, Daniel Dye, Austin Green, Luke Fenhaus, Sheldon Creed, Jeb Burton, William Salich, Corey Day, Taylor Gray, Harrison Burton, Brandon Jones, Sam Meyer, Jeremy Clements, Natalie Decker, Josh Williams, Dean Thompson, Nick Sanchez, Giovanni Ruggiero, and Mason Maggio. And now the Truck Series race from Daytona, which was Friday night. Your winner, Chandler Smith. I think he was the favorite. Second, Giovanni Ruggiero. Third, Christian X. Fourth, Ty Majeski. That was my pick. Fifth, John Hunter Nemechek. Sixth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Seventh, Brendan Queen. Eighth, Caden Honeycutt. Ninth, Tanner Ankrum. 10th, Stuart Friesen. The rest, Nick Leitz, Ben Rhodes, Andres Perez de Lara, Chris Buescher, or Cole Butcher, not Chris Buescher, I read that wrong. Travis Pastrana, Frankie Muniz, Daniel Dye, Clay Greenfield, Mini Terrell, Josh Rume, Spencer Boyd, Justin Haler, Tanner Gray. I should say Haley. I combine Haley and Tanner Gray. Michael McDowell, Chris Wright, Daniel Henrik, Dawson Sutton, Taylor Gray, Grant Effinger, Jason Kitzmiller, Lane Riggs, Jake Garcia, Jason White, Corey LaJory, Carson Hocevar, Tony Stewart, which was crazy, and Cletus Mitchell. All right, so there you have it for truck. Next race is Saturday, 1:30 from Eco Park, and so is the I almost said the Busch Series. Holy shit! The O'Reilly Auto Parts, the O'Reilly Series, is at 5 o'clock in Atlanta. Truck Series is FS1. O'Reilly is on the CW, and Cup's on Fox in terms of channels. And the what's the minor league called again? The ARCA series. We'll do that because it's a we kind of want to start following that because these are like the up and coming drivers. So Gio Ruggiero wins that. So Gio Ruggiero is like very up and coming. Then Jake Bowman, Cole Raz, Daniel Dye, Glenn Green are your top 5. Then Jack Wood, Jason Kitzmiller, Ryan Vargas, Bobby Earnhardt, Andy Jankovac. And then that's your top 10, 11 through 15. Garrett Mitchell, Michael Maples, Bryce Applegate, AJ Moyer, Robbie Kennedy. 16 through 20, Takuma Takoga, Willie Mullins, Bryce Hogberg, Hunter DeSchuldt, Jake Finch. 21 through 25, N. Papa, Eric Caudell, Tim Richmond, Charles Weslowski, Brad Smith. 26 through 30, Thomas Anizada, Presley Sora, Brian Dawson, Gustine, Taylor Reimer. 31 through 35, Con Nicopolis, Caleb Costner, Sean Core, Ali Owens, Wesley Simp. 36 through 40, Alex Clubb, Isabella Roberto, Timothy Tyrell, Derek White, and Ryan Huff. So there you have it for all of Daytona from the weekend. Now we'll move on to college basketball. We will go over the results from yesterday and we'll look ahead to today's games. There are some matinee games today because of the holiday. Friday, Manhattan over Niagara, 76-69. George Washington over George Mason, 72-53. Cornell over Princeton, 89-65. Sacred Heart over St. Peter's, 78-71. Yale over Dartmouth, 83-70. Quinnipiac over Siena, 74-62. Mount St. Mary's over Rider, 65-55. Iona over Kenesha, 69-63. Harvard over Brown, 56-53. Penn over Columbia, 76-67. Wisconsin upsets number 10, Michigan State, 92-71. Number 18, St. Louis over Loyola Chicago, 86-59. Akron over UMass, 99-92. Number 23, Miami of Ohio over Ohio, 90-74. UNLV over Boise State, 86-83 in OT. And NCAT over Hampton, 71-70. So best bet last week went 0-5. You probably won't see that for the rest of the year. All right, Saturday, Valentine's Day. Number 4, Duke over number 20, Clemson, 67-54. Fordham over Rhode Island, 76-6 in OT. TCU over Oklahoma State, 95-92 in OT. Notre Dame over Georgia Tech, 89-74. Cal over BC, 86-75. Navy over Colgate, 84-80 in OT. Sanford over ETSU, 82-72 in OT. Number 2, Michigan over UCLA, 86-56. Number 5, Iowa State over number 9, Kansas, 74-56. Number 7, Nebraska over Northwestern, 68-49. Number 17, St. John's over Providence, 79-69. There was a fight in that game. Number 19, Vandy over Texas A&M, 82-69. B over Bucknell, 82-69. New Haven over LIU, 55-52. Lemoyne over Chicago State, 81-63. UMBC over New Hampshire, 85-63. Furman over VMI, 90-72. Mercer over the Citadel, 70-54. Number 11, North Carolina over Pitt, 79-65. ECU over Rice, 85-75. American over Army, 75-63. Presbyterian over UNC Asheville, 58-57. High Point over Gardner-Webb, 112-87. Florida State over Virginia Tech, 92-69. Syracuse over SMU, 79-78. North Dakota State over North Dakota, 83-66. Western Michigan over Eastern Michigan, 76-62. Kent State over Ball State, 75-68. Wagner over Stonehill, 68-57. Mercyhurst over St. Francis, 94-79. Central Con over Fairleigh Dickinson, 63-57. Vermont over Bryant, 90-63. Elon over William & Mary, 81-78. Central Arkansas over West Georgia, 79-62. Florida Gulf Coast over Stetson, 78-76. Liberty over UTEP, 73-64. FI over Louisiana Tech, 77-64. Radford over Charleston Southern, 90-80. Villanova over Creighton, 80-69. Number 14, Florida over number 25, Kentucky, 92-83. Oregon over Penn State, 83-72. Longwood over SC Upstate, 82-75 in OT. Xavier over Marquette, 96-88. NJIT over Maine, 67-58. Texas State over Yale Monroe, 95-84. South Alabama over Arkansas State, 92-88 in OT. Southern Utah over Texas Arlington, 78-73. Delaware over Missouri State, 76-67. Jackson State over Florida A&M, 80-60. Old Dominion over Georgia State, 78-55. Oklahoma over Georgia, 94-78. Morehead State over Tennessee State, 94-68. Or 94-86. Number 3, Houston over Kansas State, 78-64. Number 22, BYU over Colorado, 90-86 in OT. Number 24, Louisville over Baylor, 82-71. Colorado State over Wyoming, 79-68. Duquesne over St. Bonaventure, 78-73. Wake over Stanford, 68-63. Miami over NC State, 77-76. Albany over Binghamton, 77-74. UNC Wilmington over Hofstra, 70-66. JMU over App State, 69-58. Northern Colorado over Portland State, 77-65. Jacksonville over North Florida, 63-56. Queens over Lipscomb, 87-81. Abilene Christian over Tarleton State, 73-59. Norfolk State over Delaware State, 75-58. Alabama State over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 79-61. Alcorn State over Bethune, 57-55. A&M Corpus Christi over Lamar, 76-63. Northwestern State over Southeast Louisiana, 69-66. Houston Christian over New Orleans, 61-60. Tennessee Martin over SIU Edwardsville, 81-76. SC Missouri over Lindenwood, 73-61. Eastern Illinois over Little Rock, 78-72. SC State, Morgan State postponed. Howard over Maryland Eastern, 79-53. Number 13, Purdue over Iowa, 78-57. Lehigh over Lafayette, 78-69. Pepperdine over Merrimack, 90-89. Bama A&M over Miss Valley State, 72-65. Croydon Canyon over San Jose State, 94-79. Coppin State over NC Central, 58-56. Fresno State over Air Force, 93-63. Bowling Green over Toledo, 80-70. Central Michigan over Northern Illinois, 88-46. UNC Greensboro over Wofford, 99-89. Western Carolina over Chattanooga, 81-76. UC Davis over Long Beach State, 71-54. Nichols over Incarnate Word, 91-83. Idaho over Idaho State, 99-69. Eastern Washington over Weber State, 84-66. Tennessee Tech over Southern Indiana, 82-74. Sam Houston over Kennesaw State, 83-79. Mexico State over Jacksonville State, 79-70. Texas Southern over Grambling, 82-79. Southern over Prairie View, 87-82. Stephen F. Austin over Texas Rio Grande, 66-57. Austin P. over Bellarmine, 90-70. VCU over Richmond, 78-67. West Virginia over UCF, 74-67. Brown over Dartmouth, 79-76. Columbia over Pistons, 75-65. Penn over Cornell, 82-76. McNeese over East Texas A&M, 97-54. Tennessee over LSU, 73-63. Number 16, Texas Tech upsets number 1, Arizona, 79-75 in OT. Yale over Harvard, 76-75 in OT. Mississippi State over Ole Miss, 90-78 in the Egg Bowl. Wichita State over Tulsa, 81-77. Cal Poly over Santa Barbara, 89-79. Number 6, UConn over Georgetown, 79-75. Number 15, Virginia over Ohio State, 70-66. Utah State over Memphis, 99-75. St. Thomas over KC, 104-64. South Dakota State over Oral Roberts, 87-69. Cal State Northridge over Hawaii, 84-60. Northern Arizona over Sac State, 79-74. Western Kentucky over Middle Tennessee, 82-80. Georgia Southern over Marshall, 101-87. Alabama over South Carolina, 81-75. Number 21, Arkansas over Auburn, 88-75. Southern Miss over Troy, 69-65. Texas over Missouri, 85-68. Washington over Minnesota, 69-57. Montana State over Montana, 82-71. Utah Tech over Cal Baptist, 70-65. San Diego State over Nevada, 71-57. UC Irvine over Fullerton, 86-65. UC San Diego over UC Riverside, 72-66. St. Mary's over Pacific, 72-61. And number 12, Gonzaga over Santa Clara, 94-86. All right, Sunday, UTSA over Charlotte, 88-79. Cincinnati over Utah, 69-65. Rutgers over Maryland, 68-57. Number 8, Illinois over Indiana, 71-51. Loyola, Maryland over Holy Cross, 83-73. Omaha over Denver, 83-76. Detroit Mercy over Youngstown State, 76-70. Manhattan over Canisius, 69-65. Valpo over Indiana State, 76-75. Bradley over Southern Illinois, 70-60. North Texas over Temple, 65-62. South Florida over FAU, 83-81 in OT. Toledo over UAB, 55-54. Sacred Heart over Rider, 86-75. St. Peter's over Fairfield, 83-74. Merrimack over Quinnipiac, 56-49. Robert Morris over Oakland, 93-69. Rice over Cleveland State, 102-90. Purdue Fort Wayne over Indy, 83-78. Niagara over Iona, 70-68. Siena over Marist, 67-63. Northern Iowa over Drake, 86-62. UIC over Illinois State, 83-56. Milwaukee over Green Bay, 75-72. Dayton over Davidson, 70-59. North Alabama over Eastern Kentucky, 84-78 in OT. Charleston over Campbell, 62-57. Belmont over Murray State, 87-70. San Francisco over San Diego, 92-79. Seton Hall over Butler, 63-56. Monmouth over Towson, 72-71. And Seattle over Oregon State, 60-50. Okay. Now I'm going to look ahead to the games for today in college basketball. 2 o'clock, Southeast Louisiana, East Texas A&M. I have East Texas A&M 1.75. And it is East Texas A&M by 1.5. Totals 134.5. I will take the over. 5 o'clock, Louisiana Old Dominion. I have Old Dominion 5.7. 5.5, 135.5. I'll go over. CBS Sports Network 6 o'clock, Colgate BU. I have Colgate 0.9. And it is 2.5 and 1.3.5. I will take the over. So, I just got word that Coppin State, SC State start time got moved to 4:45. My line for this is SC State 1.2, and it is 4.5, 1.3.5. I'll take Coppin State getting the points. 7 o'clock, ESPN. Syracuse, number 3, Duke. My line, Duke, 11.25. And it is 20.5, 144.5. I'll take Syracuse to cover. I don't think Syracuse is that bad of a team. Wagner, LIU. My line is LIU 12.1. And it's 10.5, 137.5. I'll take the over. Howard, Delaware State. I have Delaware State 5.25 underdog. 10.5, 139.5. I'll take Delaware State getting the points. Morgan State, NC Central. I have Morgan State 0.1. And it's NC Central 4.5, total 150.5. I'll take Morgan State plus 4.5 and plus 198 to win outright. I think that's a little high. Miss Valley State, Alabama State. I have Alabama State 10.4, and it's 16.5 and 141.5. I'll take Miss Valley to cover. ESPNU, Bethune, Cookman, and Jackson State. Mine is Bethune 1.3, and it is 4.5, 149.5. I'll take Jackson State getting the points. Grambling, Prairie View. I have Prairie View by 0.7. It's Grambling 2.5, total 150.5. I'll take Prairie View plus 2.5 and plus 130 to win the game outright. Norfolk State, Maryland Eastern. I have Norfolk 1.25, and it is 1.5, 136.5. I'll go over. South Alabama, Marshall. My line is Marshall 2.3. It's 5.5, 150.5. I'll take South Alabama getting the 5.5. That is a lot of points. Lamar, Texas Rio Grande at 7:30. I have Texas Rio Grande by 6.5. It's 5.5, 141.5. I'll go over. New Orleans, Incarnate Word. I have Incarnate Word 3.2. It's 1.5 and 154.5. I'll go with the under. McNeese, Northwestern State. I have McNeese 9.8. It's 14F, 137F. I'll take Northwestern State the cover. 8 o'clock, Abilene Christian, Tarleton State. I have Tarleton by 1. It's 1.5, 134.5. I'll go over. Florida A&M, Alcorn State. I have Florida A&M 0.6. And it is 1.5 and 137.5. I'll go over. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Alabama A&M. I have Bama A&M by 6. And it's 3.5, 141.5. I'm going to lay this 3.5 with Alabama A&M. Southern, Texas Southern. I have Texas Southern 0.2. It is Southern 3.5, total 151.5. I'll take Texas Southern plus 3.5 and plus 146 to win. CBS Sports Network, Drexel, Stony Brook. I have Stony Brook 3.5, and it's 3.5, 134.5. I'll go over. Stephen F. Austin, A&M, Corpus Christi. I have Stephen F. Austin 6.8. And it is 5.5 and 135.5. I'll take the over. Nichols, Houston Christian. I have Houston Christian 1.2. It's 1.5, 142.5. I'll take the over. At 9 o'clock on ESPN, number 2, Houston. Number 6, Iowa State. Game of the night. My line is Houston only by 2. And it is Iowa State 2.5. Fuck. Total 134.5. I was so excited. I have to give out Houston. I wanted to be on Iowa State. That's not going to be best bet because that's the most Vegas nose line I've seen in a while. Okay, now we'll do soccer. We'll go over the results from the weekend, and we'll look ahead to today. I don't think soccer's busy today. Because there's some stuff going on, and I think it's going to be busier during the week. All right, Friday, the FA Cup. Chelsea over Hull City 4-0. Wrexham over Ipswich Town 1-0. La Liga, Elche Osasuna 0-0 draw. Bundesliga, Dortmund over Mainz 4-0. Liga MX, Unam over Puebla 3-2. And Toluca over Tijuana 1-0. Serie A, AC Milan over Pisa 2-1. French Ligue 1 Stade Rennes over PSG 3-1. AS Monaco over Nantes 3-1. Women's Super League, Man City over Leicester City 6-0. Dutch Eredivisie, FC Volendam over PSV Eindhoven 2-1. The Pro League, Al Ali over Al Shabab 5-2. Al Hilal over Al Ettifaq 2-0. And Al Ittihad over Al Faya 2-1. Women's Friendly, China over Vietnam 1-0. All right, Saturday, English FA Cup. West Ham over Burton 1-0. Mansfield Town over Burnley 2-1. Man City over Salford City 2-0. Norwich City over West Brom 3-1. Southampton over Leicester City 2-1. Additional extra time. What's up with Leicester City? That team's falling apart. Newcastle United over Aston Villa 3-1. And Liverpool over Brighton and Hove 3-0. Spanish La Liga, Espanyol Celta Vigo 2-2 draw. Getafe over Villarreal 2-1. Sevilla Alaves 1-1 draw. Real Madrid over Real Sociedad 4-1. Bundesliga, Leverkusen over St. Pauli 4-0. Frankfurt over Mönchengladbach 3-0. Hamburg SV over Union Berlin 3-2. Hoffenheim over SC Freiburg 3-0. Bayern Munich over Werder Bremen 3-0. And VfB Stuttgart over FC Cologne 3-1. Liga MX, Atletico de San Luis over Querétaro 3-0. Pachuca over Atlas 3-1. Monterrey over Leon 1-0. Necaxa over FC Juarez 2-1. And Guadalajara over America 1-0. Serie A, Fiorentina over Como 2-1. Atalanta over Lazio 2-0. Inter over Juventus 3-2. French League 1, Marseille Strasbourg 2-2 draw. Lille Brest 1-1 draw. Lens over Paris FC 5-0. ELC Derby County over Swansea City 2-0. Sheffield United over Portsmouth 1-0. Preston North End Watford 2-2 draw. Blackburn over Queen's Park 3-1. And Millwall over Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. Dutch Eredivisie, NAC Breda over Heracles 1-0. AZ Alkmaar over Excelsior 2-1. Ajax over Fortuna 4-1. And FC Utrecht over FC Groningen 2-1. Pro League, Al Raida, Al Khalij 1-1 draw. Al Najma over Al Khaloud 2-1. And Al Nasser over Al Fateh 2-0. Scottish Premiership, Dundee Livingston 2-2 draw. Dundee United over Falkirk 3-2. And Hibernian over St. Mirren 2-0. And then Sunday, FA Cup, Birmingham City Leeds 1-1 draw. Leeds advances 4-2 in penalties. Wolverhampton over Grimsby Town 1-0. Sunderland over Oxford United 1-0. Fulham over Stoke City 2-1. And Arsenal over Wigan 4-0. La Liga, Athletic Club over Real Oviedo 2-1. Real Valladolid over Atletico Madrid 3-0. Valencia over Levante 2-0. Real Betis over Mallorca 2-1. Bundesliga, FC Augsburg over FC Heidenheim 1-0. Leipzig Wolfsburg 2-2 draw. Liga MX, Cruz Azul over Unal Tigres 2-1. And Mazatlan over Santos 2-1. Serie A, Sassuolo over Udinese 2-1. Cremonese Genoa 1-0 draw. Parma over Verona 2-1. Bologna over Torino 2-1. And Napoli ice Roma 2-2 draw. French League 1, Le Havre AC over Toulouse 2-1. Lorient over Angers 2-0. Ajax over Metz 3-1. Lyon over Nice 2-0. Women's Super League, Tottenham over Aston Villa 7-3. Chelsea over Liverpool 2-0. Everton over West Ham 1-0. Man United over London City 2-1. And Brighton over Arsenal postponed. Dutch Eredivisie, Feyenoord over Go Ahead Eagles 1-0. Heerenveen over PC Zwolle 4-2. Telstar FC 20 1-1 draw. Scottish Premiership, Celtic over Kilmarnock 3-2. Motherwell over Aberdeen 2-0. And Rangers over Hearts 4-2. So there you have it from the soccer this weekend. Now we'll look at the soccer going on today. So 2:30 English FA Cup. Macclesfield FC against Brentford. Brentford minus 650. Macclesfield 11 on the draws plus 650. We're gonna do over 3.5 goals at plus 106. La Liga, Girona Barcelona 3:00 ESPN 2. Barcelona minus 90, Girona plus 650, draw plus 470. I would go under 3.5 goals, even money. Serie A, Cagliari and Lecce 245. Cagliari plus 135. Lecce plus 250. Draw plus 185. I'm going Cagliari plus 135. ELC, Coventry City, and Borough. Coventry plus 125. Borough 2-1. Draw plus 250. I'm going Coventry plus 125. Champions League Elite, AFC, 11 o'clock Al-Ali and Shabab Al-Ali, 11 o'clock Sharjah and Nasaf Karshi, 150 Al-Hilal and Al-Wada, and Al-Shorta and Al-Duhail. So there you have it for soccer. And we also have soccer for tomorrow that I'm going to pick now because in case I don't get to it before the show tomorrow. All right, UEFA Champions League, 12:45 on Paramount Plus. Galatasaray, Juventus. Juventus is even money. Galatasaray is plus 270. Draw plus 250. I'm going with Juventus even money. 3 o'clock, first leg. AS Monaco, PSG. PSG minus 200. Monaco 5-1. The draw's plus 360. PSG is going to win. We all know that. We're going to go over 3.5 goals plus 130. First leg, Benfica, Real Madrid. Real Madrid minus 110, Benfica plus 270, draw plus 90. I'm going Real Madrid as a slight favorite, or an underpriced favorite at minus 110. And then Borussia Dortmund and Atalanta. First leg, Borussia Dortmund plus 105, Atalanta plus 250, draw plus 250. I'm going with Dortmund at plus 105. A little bit of ELC. Tomorrow, 2:45, Bristol City and Wrexham. Bristol City plus 115, Wrexham plus 230, draw plus 240, with Bristol City plus 115. And Charlton Athletic Portsmouth, Charlton plus 140, Portsmouth plus 210, draw plus 200. I'm going to go with Charlton at plus 140. And in Dutch Eredivisie tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Sparta, Rotterdam, and NEC the Geelen. And why is that line not posted? Which is odd. If I do the podcast tomorrow before that game, there you go. Then I'll give out a pick. And in the Scottish Cup, 2:45, Dundee United and Spartans FC. Dundee minus 600, Spartans 11-1. The draw 6-1. I'm gonna go with over 3.5 goals at minus 102. So there you have it for soccer. Now we'll do NBA All-Star Weekend. We will go over all the action that took place. The NBA starts up again on Thursday. We'll start the celebrity game. Team Giannis beat Team Anthony 65-58. I guess there was no MVP of that game. So the Rising Stars Challenge, semifinals, Team Melo beat Team Austin 40-34. Team Vince beat Team T-Mac 41-36. And Team Vince beat Team Melo 25-24. And the MVP of the game was Philadelphia 76ers rookie VJ Edgecombe. The Rising Stars Challenge, we just did. The 3-point contest, your winner, of course, the man who didn't play all year, Damian Lillard. Had 27 in the first round. Made it through against Devin Booker and Con Knipple and had 29 in the final round. The Shooting Stars Challenge, Team Knicks won with a final score of 47. They beat Team Cameron, who had a score of Team 38. And then they won the first round with 31 points. The Slam Dunk Contest, your winner was Kashad Johnson of the Miami Heat, who got a 97.4 in the final round, who beat Carter Bryant of the Spurs with a 93. And then the All-Star game, the round-robin games, U.S. Stars over Team World 37-35 in OT. Victor Wembanyama was fun. Anthony Edwards played really well. USA Stripes beat USA Stars 42-40. And then USA Stripes beat Team World 48-45. And in the championship game, USA Stars beat the Stripes 27 or 47-21. That was a blowout. And then the MVP of the All-Star game was Anthony Edwards. So good for him. I thought it was going to be the Stripes were going to win and LeBron was going to have like a moment. It was a possible last All-Star game, but I was wrong. But I was right about Stripes. But the funny thing is that Kawhi Leonard actually played really well for the Stripes in the in that game before the championship game. So congrats to Anthony Edwards. He played really well in the All-Star game. Okay, now move on to golf. We'll do the results from the Pebble Beach. Your winner with the score of 22 under, earning $3.6 million, Colin Morikawa. Tied for second, 21 under, Minwoo Lee, Seb Straka. Tied for fourth, 20 under, Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood. Tied for sixth with 19 under, Sam Burns and Ashke Bahita. Tied for eighth, 18 under, Nico Echeverria, Shane Lowry, Ryo Hisatune, Hideki Matsuyama, Jacob Bridgman, Jake Knapp. Tied for 14th, 17 under, Rory McIlroy, Patrick Cantlay, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tom Hogue. 18th, 16 under, Tony Finau. Tied for 19th with 15 under, Alex Moy, Russell Henley, Brian Harman, Xander Schauffele, Ricky Fowler. Tied for 24th with 14 under, Harry Hall, Jason Day, Ryan Fox, Harry English, Nick Taylor. Tied for 29th with 13 under, Max McGreevy, Keegan Bradley, Alex Moran, Jordan Spieth, Matt McNeely. Tied for 34th, 12 under, Taylor Pendrith, Mackenzie Hughes, Sammy Valimaki. Tied for 37th, 11 under, Lovey Gayberg, Justin Rose, Bud Cauley, JT Potson, Robert McIntyre, Max Kreisman, Chris Goddard, Ben Griffin. Tied for 45th with 10 under, Saiwo Kim, JJ Spawn, Ryan Gerard. Tied for 48th with 9 under, Andrew Novak, Billy Horschel, Kurt Katayama, Pearson Cootie. Tied for 52nd, 8 under, Keith Mitchell, Chris Kirk, Patrick Rodgers. Tied for 55th with 7 under, Denny McCarty. Sam Stevens, Cam Young. Tied for 58th with 6 under, Victor Hovland, Wyndham Clark. Tied for 68th with 5 under, Stephen Fisk, Gary Higo, Aldrich Podguider, Seth Thiglia. Tied for 64th with 4 under, Lucas Glover, Marco Penge, Milano Grillo. Tied for 67th, 3 under, Matt McCarty, Stefan Yeager, Rico Hoey, Corey Connors. Actually, Connors was tied for 70th, 2 under with Kevin Yu. 72nd and even Michael Kim. Notables now 73rd, 1 over Aaron Ray, Matthias Schmid. 75th, 2 over Joe Highsmith, Jandel Berger. 77th, 5 over Adam Schenk. Jonathan Vegas tied for 78th with 9 over with Michael Jordan and Brian Candle. So I really just didn't do notables. I just went through everybody. My bad. So there you have it for golf. Now move on to the Olympics. We'll go over all the weekend's action from Saturday to today. And then we'll look ahead to tomorrow. We'll start with Saturday. So curling, women's, China over Italy 8-7, Great Britain over Canada 7-6, Japan over Switzerland 7-5. We had freestyle skiing, women's dual moguls finals. The small final, the bronze going to Elizabeth Lemley of U.S. In the big final, the silver going to Jalen Koff of U.S. and the gold going to Jakara Anthony of Australia. Cross-country skiing, women's 4x7.5 kilometer relay, bronze going to Finland, silver Sweden, and the gold Norway. Men's hockey, Latvia over Germany 4-3, and Sweden over Slovakia 5-3. Alpine skiing, men's giant slalom run 2. The bronze going to Lurik Mylard of Switzerland, the silver going to Marco Odermatt of Switzerland, the gold going to Lucas Pinheiro Brothen of Brazil. Men's curling, Great Britain over Czechia 7-4, Sweden over China 6-4, Switzerland over Canada 9-5, U.S. over Germany 8-6. The biathlon women's 7.5 kilometer sprint. The bronze going to Lou Genois of France. The silver going to Ocean Michaelon of France. And the gold going to Marin Kirkedy of Norway. Men's hockey, Finland over Italy 11-0. Women's playoff quarterfinals in hockey, Canada over Germany 5-1. Men's speed skating 500 meters. Gold going to Jordan Stoltz of US. Silver, Jenning Debout of the Dutch. And the bronze going to Laurent Durval of Canada. Women's curling, US over Japan 7-4. Switzerland over Canada 8-7. Denmark over Korea 6-5. Sweden over Italy 8-6. Women's heat 4 skeleton. The bronze going to Jacqueline Prefer of Germany. The silver going to Suzanne Krater of Germany. And the gold going to Janine Flock of Austria. The ski jumping, the final round. The bronze going to Kasper Tomziak of Poland. The silver going to Ren Nikito of Japan. The gold going to Domin Prevc of Slovakia. And in the hockey, men's US over Denmark 6-3, and women's playoff quarterfinals Switzerland over Finland 1-0. Men's 1500 meter final A short track speed skating. The bronze going to Roberts Kreuzbergs of Latvia. The silver Daeon Kwong of Korea, and the gold going to Jens van Twout of the Dutch. All right, Sunday action. Men's curling, US over Sweden 8-5, Great Britain over Germany 9-4, Norway over Italy 10-7. Biathlon men's 12.5 kilometer pursuit. Bronze going to Emilian Jacqueline of France. The silver going to Sturla Holm Lagarde of Norway. And the gold going to Martin Ponsamola of Sweden. The freestyle skiing men's dual mogul finals. The bronze small final, Matt Grab of Austria. The silver going to Ikuma Hiroshima of Japan. The gold going to Mikhail Kingsbury of Canada. Cross-country skiing men's 4.75 kilometer relay. The bronze going to Italy. The silver going to France. And the gold going to Norway. Men's hockey, Switzerland over Czechia 4-3 in overtime. Alpine skiing, silver tied. Thea Louise St. Drensen of Norway and Sarah Hector of Sweden. The gold going to Federica Brignone of Italy. Women's curling, Korea over Japan 7-5, Denmark over Italy 7-2, Sweden over Great Britain 10-7, US over China 6-5. Mixed team snowboard cross. The big final, the bronze going to France 2, silver Italy 1, and gold Great Britain 1. Women's 10 kilometer pursuit biathlon, the bronze going to Suvi Mikkonen of Finland, the silver going to Marin Kirkedy of Norway, and the gold going to Lisa Fedozzi of Italy. Ice hockey men's, Canada over France 10-2. Speed skating women's 500 meter, bronze going to Maiho Takagi of Japan, the silver going to Judah Leerdam of the Dutch, and the gold going to Femke Koch of the Dutch. Skeleton mixed team. The bronze going to Prefer and Gother of Germany. The silver going to Junk and Kerr of Germany. And the gold going to Weston and Stoker of Great Britain. Men's curling, Canada over China 6-3. US over Norway 10-8. Italy over Czechia 10-5. Switzerland over Great Britain 6-5. Men's hockey, Denmark over Latvia 4-2. Women's LH individual final round ski jumping. The bronze going to Nika Prevc of Slovakia. Silver going to Erin Maria Kvandal of Norway. And the gold going to Anna Odine Strom of Norway. And then hockey, US over Germany 5-1 in men's. And then today so far, curling women's. Sweden over Switzerland 6-4. Canada over China 10-5. Great Britain over Denmark 7-2. We had women's 1,000 meter short track speed skating final A. Bronze going to Gili Kim of Korea. Silver going to Courtney Sarrault of Canada. And the gold going to Zandra Veldsboer of the Dutch. Alpine skiing men's slalom run 2. Bronze going to Henrik Kristoffersen of Norway. Silver, Fabio Gessarin of Austria. The gold going to Loic Millard of Switzerland. Men's curling, Norway over Great Britain 7-6, Canada over Czechia 8-2, Germany over Sweden 7-3, China over Italy 11-4. Women's ice hockey playoff semifinals, U.S. over Sweden 5-0, so they're off to the gold medal game. Women's curling, Italy over U.S. 7-2, Korea over China 10-9, Switzerland over Great Britain 10-6, Canada over Japan 9-6. Ski jumping, men's super team second round, the bronze going to Norway, the silver going to Poland, the gold going to Austria. And then figure skating, pair skating, free skating, the bronze going to Hassan Voldwin of Germany, the silver going to Buravla and Matsukina of Georgia, and the gold going to Karaha and Mura of Japan. The men's super team's final round of ski jumping was moved. In the women's free ski big air final, bronze going to Flora Tabanelli of Italy, the silver going to Eileen Gu of China, and the gold going to Megan Oldham of Canada. The bobsleigh, the bronze going to Kaylee Armbruster Humphreys of U.S., the silver going to Laura Nolte of Germany, and the gold going to Alana Myers-Taylor of U.S. And then going on right now, women's semifinals, Canada and Switzerland. All right, so we'll pick some stuff tomorrow. We have curling tomorrow. Men's Switzerland, Sweden, 3 o'clock a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock over there. The lines are in up, but it's Switzerland, Sweden, U.S., China, Czechia, Germany. All right, men's ice hockey playoff. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning our time, and out there it is noon. Germany, France. Germany minus 800, France plus 540, over under 6.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. France plus 1F is plus 210, Germany minus 1F is minus 265. I'm going to go like the over 6.5 and minus 115. And Switzerland, Italy. Switzerland minus 1800, Italy plus 920, over under 6.5, overs minus 130, unders plus 110. Italy plus 1F is plus 360, Switzerland minus 1F is minus 500. I'm going to go under 6.5 at plus 110. All right, medal placing, you have snowboard women, snowboard slope style, Nordic combined, 10-kilometer cross country, women's curling, Sweden, Canada, Italy, Japan, Denmark, U.S., Korea, Switzerland. We have biathlon men's 4.7.5 kilometer relay medal placing. We have speed skating men's team pursuit final A and B, and then 10:40 a.m. our time, and out there 4 o'clock there. Czechia, Denmark in hockey. Czechia minus 410, Denmark plus 315, over under 6.5, overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Denmark plus 1F is plus 122, Czechia minus 1F minus 150. I'm going over 6.5 at plus 104. Men's curling, Germany, Switzerland, U.S., Italy, Canada, Great Britain, Sweden, Norway. You have freestyle skiing, men's free ski big air final, 2-man heat for bobsleigh, and then we have men's playoff in hockey, Sweden and Latvia. 3 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock out there. Sweden minus 1100, Latvia plus 680, over under 6.5, overs plus 106, unders minus 130. Latvia plus 1F is plus 240, Sweden minus 1F is minus 310. I'm going over 6.5 at plus 106. So there you have it for Olympics. Okay, now move on to on this day. We had to do it Saturday, Sunday, and today because Mondays on those days are usually longer. All right. So on this day, February 14th, so this was the Valentine's Day. 2023, Raiders release Derek Carr. 2024, several injured in shooting at Chiefs Parade. I remember that. 2017, Raptors acquire Serge Ibaka. 2022, Odell Beckham Jr. tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. 2024, Ohio State fires Chris Holtmann. 2017, Canadians fire Michael Therrien. 2020, Wildfire Bruce Boudreau. 2023, Cardinals hire Jonathan Gannon. 2017, Canadians hire Claude Julien. 2024, 49ers hire Steve Wilkes as defensive coordinator. 2020, Redskins fire Josh Norman. Wait, you mean release Josh Norman? Red Sox fire Josh Norman? In 2022, the Flames acquired Tyler Toffoli. So mistakes, Redskins released Josh Norman, and then Odell Beckham, I guess it was announced he tore his ACL. He tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. And I don't think the Super Bowl was played on Valentine's Day. Alright, and then yesterday, February 15th, 2024, Caitlin Clark breaks NCAA women's scoring record. 2021, Vincent Jackson found dead. 2014, TJ Oshie, USA Hockey defeats Russia in a shootout. I remember that. 2023, Habs buy out Kevin Love. 2021, UCF hires Gus Malzahn. 2024, Blue Jackets fire GM Jarmo Keklian. 2022, Ryan Zimmerman retires. 2019, Pelicans fire GM Dell Demps. 2016, Heat concerned Chris Bosh dealing with blood clots again. 2015, Knicks buy out Amari Stoudemire. 2021, Jalen Johnson opts out of season for Duke. And this one's wrong too. 2019, Yankees acquire Luis Severino. Maybe they extended him? Because Luis Severino came up through their system. Maybe they acquired James Paxton that day maybe. Or Jameson. Yeah, it must have been James Paxton. Because that's obviously not right. And then for today, February 16th, 2015, Jason Giambi retires. 2022, Canada wins gold in women's hockey. 2016, the Pistons acquire Tobias Harris. Isn't he on the Pistons right now? Oh, maybe they acquired him from Orlando. 2017, NC State fires Mark Gottfried. 2023, Celtics name Joe Mazzulla full-time head coach. 2014, Braves extend Craig Kimbrell. 2016, Gerard Mayer retires from the NFL. 2014, Ravens extend Terrell Suggs. 2023, Tim Carver passes away. 2021, Panthers release Kawan Short. 2018, the Mets signed Jason Vargas. In 2019, number 5, Kentucky defeats number 1, Tennessee. So there you have it for on this day. Now I'll move on to the news and notes. So just coming down right now, ABC News reports 2 victims were killed and several were injured from an apparently targeted shooting at an ice rink in Rhode Island. Oh man, that's very sad. Obviously this news just broke like 15 minutes ago. Thoughts and prayers to all involved. Just very sad. And Nancy Guthrie, we haven't addressed the Nancy Guthrie story on the podcast. But Donald Trump came out and said that if Nancy Guthrie is found dead, then the person that did it should get the death penalty. And now it came out, Savannah Guthrie's friends fear for devastated journalist after a disturbing plea to mom's captor. A lot of people found it disturbing, so that was that video that came out yesterday. She's obviously off the Today Show. Hoda was supposed to go to the Olympics. She didn't go because of this. And this is the biggest story in America. And hopefully we have a resolution soon. It's been over 2 weeks already since she went missing. So prayers to Savannah and her siblings. Sports. Damian Lillard says he wanted to represent strength after winning the 3-point contest. UNC signs Western Carolina quarterback Taron Dickens. Broke the NCAA record for most consecutive passes with 46 completions against Wofford last year. We talked about Tyler Riddick winning the Daytona 500. Michael Jordan owns that car, so he was all excited. The Dolphins released Tyreek Hill. He'll be an unrestricted free agent for the first time in his career. I can just tell you some obvious fits. The Patriots stand out the most, and the Bills in their division, so that's kind of cool. With the opportunity for Tyreek to play for a contender. And obviously the Dolphins are cleaning house. Mike Trout moving back to center field as he was not comfortable in right field. Breanna Stewart returns for a second stint with Fenerbahce. So that's pretty cool. So Kansas State fired Jerome Tang after publicly ripping his players. So this is obviously a case of underperformance as well. 10-15 record. Obviously, him ripping the players, I'm sure, did not sit well with the AD and that program. And it's funny because Tang had a great first year and they thought he was the hot shit coach. He turned out to be a disappointment after that. And then obviously him ripping his players, they're like sayonara. There are teams eyeing Rays lefty reliever Garrett Cleavinger. With the free agent market slowing. I think that would be a good Yankee, a good Met. Red Sox. Padres have signed Ty France. He returns to the Padres on a minor league deal, 2022 All-Star. Corey Seager denies Marcus Semien tension as he says reports of toxic relationship with Semien was all speculation. Stephen Cohen annoyed that the Mets haven't won as he makes his ultimate goal clear ahead of the 2026 season. Bryce Harper still unhappy with how Dave Dombrowski described his 2025 season. Like, Bryce, get over it. Move on, new season. And here's the thing, Bryce Harper isn't the same player as he used to be. His stats are declining. He's not Aaron Judge. He's not Shohei Ohtani. Him and Mike Trout are not in that tier anymore. I'm sorry. They're closer. You can make a case they're closer to like that Giancarlo Stanton, Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado group than they are to Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Um, Bradley Chubb is leaving the Dolphins as they agree to part ways. Browns' new defensive coordinator is Falcons' defensive pass game coordinator Mike Ruthenberg. The Falcons might tag Kyle Pitts, as he could be tagged at $16.3 million. That's a heavy tag. And new Seahawks offensive coordinator, 49ers tight ends coach Brian Fleury. And then the new Raiders OC is going to be Seahawks quarterbacks coach Andrew Janocko. And so he'll go with Clint Kubiak over to Vegas. Eli Manning says that Bill Belichick's snub is shocking, as he says he can't imagine a more deserving coach for the Hall of Fame. I think they're buddies. I think after all the battles they had, I think him and Belichick and Brady, I feel like they're, and obviously Peyton Manning are all like buddies. The Giants considered Rex Ryan for DC as Harbaugh talked to him at length before the Denard Wilson hire. I think they did the right thing with Wilson because I don't think Rex Ryan could coach anymore at the pro level. Like, I just think his time has passed. We talked about U.S. getting the gold in women's monobob. We talked about Eileen Gu getting the silver. Lindsey Vonn flying back to U.S. and will have more surgeries after the tibia fracture. The 76ers are starting a campaign. Devin Booker says the three-point contest loss hurt, as he says next year's event will probably be the last time he competes if he's invited. LeBron says he just wants to live during All-Star media presser. Again, Giannis says he's committed to the Bucks. 10-time All-Star doesn't want people to think he quit on his team amid trade rumors. It's not quitting on your team. It's doing what's best for you. Steph Curry, no pressure to retire, so he doesn't think he'll call it a career anytime soon. Jerome Tang, deeply disappointed with the university's decision to part ways with him. And I personally think that this decision has to do with today's day and age with if you are disciplined and mean, then you could lose your job kind of thing. So there might be more to this. Maybe like there's more to come out of this. And then Duncan Powell got suspended after the St. John's Providence fight. Bad news for BYU. Richie Saunders tore his ACL. His season's over. That's brutal for BYU. That, I think, hurts their chances in the NCAA tournament. Red Sox CEO Sam Kennedy talks about Alex Bregman, says if he wanted to be here, ultimately he'd be here. All right, so that was a kind of obvious there. The Padres are signing Herman Marquez on a one-year deal that brings them some depth. Juan Soto says he talks about the rumors about him and Francisco Lindor's relationship being chilly. Manny Machado hypes the Dodgers spending as he thinks every team should be doing it. Well, we're going to have a lockout probably because of this. And then that's it for news and notes. Okay. Best bet brought to you by FanDuel. So I'm gonna do college basketball. I'm gonna go to Sunbelt, and hopefully this is gonna be a 5-0 week, and I'm gonna bounce back instead of going 0-5. I went 5-0. I think two weeks in January, not in a row, but I know I went 5-0 twice. And then February's not been kind to me. So I'm going to go with South Alabama getting the points against Marshall. I think 5.5's high. I think that South Alabama is very live to win this game. So I'm going to take South Alabama plus 5.5 against Marshall for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking at to everything tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.